Hey, my name is Anton. Welcome to my studio and my very first vlog. That's right, I've been wanting to start doing these vlogs for a little while now, so you'll be seeing a lot more of them pop up on the channel as I kind of use them to give you behind the scenes look at how all of this magic right here happens. And seeing how this is my very first vlog, I thought that the best way to kick off the series is to give you a tour of my studio. So I'm gonna pick you up and we're gonna go on a full tour of my setup where I'm gonna show you everything that you see and some things that you don't see during my live streams. And I'll explain how and why I put it all together. So strap yourself in and let's go. All right, here we are at the entrance of the room. You'll see this long wire running down here. That's what I'm using for audio right now. That's why you can hear me piping that straight into my system. We'll get to that in a second. So as you come into the room, we got my memes, my 3 memes here. So we got me Gusta, all framed, a very nice problem, troll face, and Forever Alone. So I got these just hanging on the wall right here. Give you kind of a wide shot right there. I don't know, just kind of something for the wall there. Some little funny, little entertaining. I swing around to this side right here as you come in. I have my, I don't know, I guess a bookcase, whatever you want to call it there. I got Lego on it. Of course, Star Trek Enterprise. You guys see that in my live streams. At least you see a little piece of it. It's really nice. It's basically a really nice poster that's been framed. And you can see, of course, the light there reflecting off the frame. But I'll go over this way. And you can see it's really, really detailed. Like, you know, if we take a little bit closer there, you can see. It's essentially one of the displays you see if you do watch Star Trek. It's one of the displays you see. It's, you can see Master Systems display. It says that right there. You can got all the buttons there and everything. So really cool. And then I do have my Lego, one of my sets. I'm a big fan of the Lego modular buildings, and this is the assembly square. You can see, of course, it's all lit up. We'll go a little bit closer here. There's the scene, the lights. Everything's been lit up. Lights inside. There's somebody sticking their head out right there. So there you go. I built it all, light it all up. And I do have another one down here in one of these cubby holes. There's the other one right there. This is Anton's bait shop. You can see right there if I zoom in a little bit. You can see right there, Anton's bait shop. There we go. So that's another set. And then I got to fill up these cubby holes there with more stuff. Over here is just a closet with a mirror. Oh, there I am. Hello. Hello, that's me holding my rig. Look at this thing. Pretty crazy. I'll do another whole thing on the rig, but there's me holding the rig, and then there's the entrance you saw right there. That's where I was earlier. So let's flip you back around. This is where the magic happens. Back here, we got a bookcase of just random stuff. It's just lit up nicely. You can see I just got a bunch of stuff on it. Nothing crazy. These are the hue lights that I use, of course. That's the Hugo. You can see there it's changing colors. Very exciting. There you go. It's trying to change some colors. And I have it, of course, in the side of the bookcase there as well. But the big star of the show is this right here. This is where the magic happens. Oh, one thing I want to mention, too, is you'll see these right over here. There's one right there. And then there's another one. If I swing up, there's going to be another one right up there. That's the Oculus Vr Sensors. So I can do some VR right here in the middle of the room. You just stand right on this carpet and then VR away. There we go. But this is the actual main computer. This is where all the magic happens. So let me walk you through it. There's a lot of stuff here to take in. So we're going to start right up here and check this out. I have these awesome lights. These are what's known the Aurora, Nanoleaf Aurora lights. And they're really, really cool. They're basically the, and if you look closely, you'll see they're basically triangles that you just assemble together in any pattern that you want. All right, and I just created this pattern right here on the wall. And you can get them to change all sorts of colors. I have them right now kind of rotating through a rainbow of colors. But you can see this is the effect that it has. Really, really cool. You don't see this on my live streams because the camera is not pointing towards them. The camera is, of course, pointing towards this wall right here. So you don't see this on my live streams, but they are on when I'm live streaming just to kind of give me a bit of a show as well. And I don't know, it just sets the mood and they're really cool. I really like them. So really, really cool. Then I got some just stuff here. I got my button collection that I collected when I was a kid. Just some stuff from my childhood, some classic games, Battlefield 1942, Commandos 3, a little bit of Half-Life action peeking out. And then if I go a little bit over there, you just see a little bit of World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft action. So there you go. That's what it's all about there. So it's kind of my classic games that I started with when I started, I guess, playing back in. Oh God, these are quite old. Some of them are some of them are really old, like Battlefield 1942. Man, that was the first Battlefield that came out. I remember. So that's it right there. So then we have right over here, and I was just closing something on the desktop there. There's the camera. You can see it right there as I zoom in with this camera. There you go. There's the camera. It's mounted right here to the shelf. So that is what is capturing me when I'm doing my live streams or videos, right? And it is connected to the computer. It's an actual camcorder. It's an actual camcorder. You can see there's a little screen there so I can actually see myself. But it's a camcorder that captures me. So I have it connected to the PC and you guys get the full show. And then I have my two lights and they change colors as well. So these are the two lights right here that's shining brightly in my face that I sit down. They're not too bright. I mean, they look pretty bright, but they're not overly bright. You kind of get used to them once you start live streaming. And then if I can get, I might have to turn these lights around because maybe if I can pump up the light here on my, there we go, that would work. That will work right there. I'll just pump up the light there on my rig here. And there you go. There's the big setup. So let me walk you through the screens. I have 3 monitors. You can see right there, there's the two 27-inch monitors. And then I have a little, I think that guy is 22 inches. It's a little guy. So basically, this is my setup. This is what it looks like when I am live streaming. I have my game right here in the center. So that's right now, of course, GTA 5 right there. That's the primary monitor that I use. So during live streams, whenever I'm making videos, that's where the game is running. It's actually running off the gaming PC, which is right over there, but we'll get to that in a second. The second monitor, this is connected to the streaming PC, which is right down there. We'll get to that in a second as well. This is the streaming monitor. So I split it up into 2 halves. The first half is going to be our YouTube dashboard. That's where I can see, obviously right now there's nothing happening, but this is where I can see how many people are watching the stream, you know, making sure that the stream is, the health is good, everything is green, right? I have like my vital stats there. And then on this side is my OBS screen. And you can see even right now, my microphone is activated there because it's being fed into OBS, but I have all my scenes set up right there, all of my sources, everything like that. There's the audio stuff. And then, of course, I can see the actual scene overlays, everything. So there you go. So that I have OBS running so that way I can glance over. If there's any issues, I can quickly spot them in OBS. And just to make sure that all of the overlays, all of the stuff that comes up on the stream is working fine as well. And then the third display is turned this way because that's where I have the chat. And right now I just have the chat. I think that's from the NASA feed running. So I just threw something on there just to kind of show you the effect. But essentially, if I could just get down here, essentially, basically, I'll try to move the light out of the way, is the top part of the screen is the notification part. Oh man, this is getting quite dark. Okay, try to move it back a little bit. But hopefully you guys see that. The top part of the screen is where the notifications come in. Let's see if I can maybe turn the light down a little bit. That doesn't really help. All right, there we go. So the top part of the screen is where the notifications come in. So if somebody subscribes or sponsors or donates, that's where I see the notifications. And then down here is the actual chat, and that's where I keep up with the chat. Let's move a little bit further down. I have some stuff down there as well. Nothing crazy. A picture of my cat, sensor there for my lights, speakers, Google Home, nothing too crazy. This is my Elgato Stream Deck, and I think it's a little too bright, so let me just turn it down a little bit and see if maybe we can zoom it right in, something like that. Elgato Stream Deck is what I use to control a lot of stuff you see on the stream. So for example, when we go to a like spike, I push that button, and then boom, check that out. There's a like spike happening right now. So that's what I use to control a lot of my scenes and stuff, right? And then of course, during a like spike, I'll also hit this button right here on this little control panel that I mounted. It's basically an Android tablet. So I'll hit this button right over here, and then it does a light show. And I guess I can hit it right now. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, there you go. It's going to do now a crazy light show there behind us with all the lights going off. You can see, maybe not. These lights are going green. Lights in the ceiling. There you go. They're flashing. Lights behind me are all going off. So now light spike is in progress. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Let's hit that button back to go back on air. That should hopefully put us back in. There we go. Put us back in the mode that we need to be. So there you go. So that's what I use. I use the Elgato Stream Deck to control a lot of stuff. Things like my little pop-in. So I'll say check out my website. I press that button, and then boom, there it is. It just came out. Check out my site right there. So there you go. So that's what I use. That's the Elgato Stream Deck, and I have all the different things set up. It's a little hard to see here with the lights. Oh, there you go. It's a little bit better. These are all individual LCD screens, so they can actually change. And if I go back, you can see they change here. So I can go to LSPDFR, and here's my LSPDFR setup for that. So there you go. Really cool. Then we'll move down here. Keyboard, mouse. Oh, come out a little bit and maybe zoom out too. There we go. Keyboard, mouse, big mouse pad. I use two mice. One of them is always connected to whatever my main PC is that is active on the screen. So in this case, the keyboard and mouse right here will always be connected to the PC. So in this case right now, we're looking at the gaming PC. So that's where they are connected to. The other little mouse that I use, whoa, don't go anywhere, Rig. Almost fell on me here. The other little mouse that I use, this one right here, is always connected to my streaming PC. So even if I'm gaming, and I'm doing my live stream and I need to do something like ban somebody in the chat or something like that, I don't need to disconnect my keyboard and mouse. I can just use that mouse right there, do whatever I need to do, like in the chat right over here, and then we're all set. We're all good. But there you go. The keyboard and mouse always connected to the PC. And I can actually switch it. I have a little switch that I installed just under the table right here. So I reach down, press a button, and boom, you can see it just switched right there to my streaming PC. So now all of these three monitors are connected to the streaming PC. And the only one that switches is really this main monitor. And now the keyboard and mouse have gone blue. That's to indicate to me that they are connected to the streaming PC, which is right there. And if I push that button again, you can see we're back on the gaming PC. Keyboard has now gone red, which means it's now connected to the gaming PC. So there you go. That's a little action for you there, I guess, to show you how I switch back and forth really quick. Again, it's just one of those things that it's just my preference to do that. I know other people do differently, but that's just my preference. So there you go. That's kind of the setup here right in front of me. Let's swing over to this side right here. So there's the light. We'll come up here. There's a little board that I have with just some stuff I put on there, my schedule, well, schedule that I try to adhere to whenever I want to do videos, ideas, all that stuff. And then we swing down here. This is the gaming PC, of course. You can see right there. You can get a nice look into it. It's a little less impressive with the light shining on it, but it does some really cool, if I turn this down a little bit, it does some cool light shows. And it's really hard to see on camera, but it does light up on all the different colors and stuff, so that's really cool. So that's the actual gaming PC. That's where I'm gaming on. Got a little plant there next to it, a little fan that I use to just keep cool. Then we swing over to this side. This is the mixer. So this is the audio side. As I mentioned earlier, this is my control panel that I use for all the lights. So whenever we do need to go to, and it's going to be hard to see here with the lights there, but I have my super chat, my sponsors, like spikes, everything set up. So that's what I use to control the lights. So when I call out a like spike, I push that button, boom, the lights in the room start doing a like spike. When I do super chat, push the super chat button, we go to the super chat, right? And then I have like on air, studio night, studio off. So that if I'm on air, all the lights come on. I hit studio night when I'm done at the end of the live stream and everything kind of turns off. So that's really cool. So really, so there you go. I'll demonstrate that. Boom, studio night. And you can see there's all the lights now turned off. Nothing up there. See, all of that turned off. And these lights have just gone to blue, which is kind of my night mode that I use. So really cool. We'll go back on air since we need some light in here. But let's talk about the audio. Audio is a big thing. So, of course, my microphone, I'll swing this around like that. That's the microphone that I use. There you go. Connected to a boom arm. It goes down right here. And there's a bigger stack right down here of audio equipment and a bunch of cables back there, which I'm sure you guys don't want to look at. So let me jump down here and kind of walk you through. There's a lot of audio equipment that I use. And it's my personal choice. You don't really have to use all of this to stream. A lot of people don't, but I just made a choice to do that. I like to process as much of the signal as possible using hardware. So instead of having the signal go into the computer and then having to apply like filters to it or compressors, I try to do that on the hardware end. So that's what everything that happens here. So I'll start off and I'll try to come up down here a little bit. There we go. It's kind of difficult to hold this whole rig up and then and then explain everything, but we'll try our best. So we got the first thing right here with this little thing right there. That's the preamp. That's where the microphone signal comes in, allows me to kind of play around with all the different levels. You can see right there, adjust the gain, adjust bandwidth, levels, all of that fun stuff. Then we also have a compressor. That's the second piece right here. So that's going to be this one right there. You can see that's where the lights are going off as I'm talking. The compressor basically allows me to do things like yell into my microphone, get down, hands up, without blowing out your ears. So that's kind of how it works. It basically compresses loud sounds and ensures that everything stays more or less the same volume without having to, you guys have to rip out your headphones out of your ears and go, Anton, you were too loud. So that's what the compressor does. I can be as loud as I want, and it always remains the same level, or as quiet as I want. I can whisper, and you guys can still hear me on the stream. And then we have some more audio processing equipment at the bottom here. So these are equalizers and sonic enhancers and stuff, bass processors there, just to make it seem a little bit more radio-like, a little bit more cleaner. Again, something extra that I like to do, and a lot of people don't do that. It's just my preference there to do that. So there you go. And then, of course, up here we have another effects processor that I like to use as well that sits right up on top of my preamp. And then, of course, all of that, once the signal is processed by all of the processors right here, it all comes up right to the tabletop. And I'll just get my mic out of the way. And it comes up to this mixer. And this is the mixer that I use. You can see all of the connections right down here. Everything connected there. So this is what allows me to, first of all, pipe in all the audio from the gaming PC as well as the streaming PC, put it all together, my microphone, put it basically all together, send it out to the streaming PC. Audio is a big, complicated thing when it comes to streaming, especially with two computers, because you have to bring both of them together. And then you have to think of things like, when I'm playing on the 5M server, right, and I'm doing a live stream, my microphone has to go both to the stream as well as into the game so the guys in the game can hear me. So how do you do that? How do you take a microphone which goes through all of those processors down there and comes in here? How do you take that microphone and put it into both PCs at the same time? So that's what the mixer allows you to do. You can see I have all the different channels set up here. So I have everything on a different channel, like for example, the game. And I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that, but I can also adjust it. This is my headphone feed right there. That should be pretty loud. Headphones blaring right now. There's my headphones hanging off right there. So I can independently adjust the headphone sound, but you can see I can mute things. I can adjust the volume. So when you say things like the game is too quiet, I can just literally, bump this up a little bit or put it down if you say it's a little too loud. So that's really cool. It kind of allows me to do those things. Things like Discord, TeamSpeak that we use for 5M, that's on a separate channel. So if you guys say, I can't hear everyone, I can just move that up and down and adjust it as need be. So really, really cool. Allows me to do a lot of things. And again, that's just my personal preference of how I set it up. A lot of people don't use equipment like this, but that's just how I like to roll. So there you go. So that's pretty much it. There's the streaming PC right down there. It's nothing exciting. You can see like the mess of wires. Don't even look back there. That's crazy. Oh, look at that. Don't even go down there. I try not to go down there too much, but there's the streaming PC. Nothing too crazy. It's just you can see all the specs on my website, but yeah, it's not flashy. It's not as flashy as the gaming one right over there. Of course, my chair here that I had to move out of the way. I'll move it back in. Come back in, chair. There we go. There's my chair right there. So there you go. There's pretty much the whole setup, and I'll move back a little bit. That's what it looks like. That is where the magic happens every time I go live, or whenever I upload the video, whenever I make a video. That's where it is right there. So I don't know what else is there. What else is there to say? That's gonna be it right there, I guess. There you go, guys. Well, there you go. There is my full studio setup. I hope that you like it. And now that you've seen all of my equipment, and you might be wondering exactly about what the specific models are, well, make sure you just drop by my website at www.GMAntonZ.com and then just click on the little My Studio tab you'll see there at the top for a full list of all of my PC specs and everything that I use right here in my studio. That's it. That's going to do it for my very first vlog. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Hit that bell right next to the subscribe button so that way you get notified every time I go live and whenever I upload one of these amazing videos. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye.